I think back on those early mornings of childhood memories, like hazy playtime stories. This is what I've seen and this is what I saw. Holes in the wall, brown face and a menthol. 6'1", he stood tall for a Filipino man. I kept my back straight so by him I could stand. Rough skin like a basketball were his hands. Scarred and long, they had their own plans. Putang ina, his favorite short prayer. This I would hear from that morning till later. His song of praise I would hear late at night in the next room. Offbeat movements, his hands moved too soon, too late, but the sounds all night kept me awake. A slap, a pound, they locked the door. He stood so tall that she was on the floor, crawling on the ground like ants and roaches. Lullaby sounds that distorted my focus. For the next morning, the next day, and the next years, from his hands to my face, his rage became my tears. His face became all of our fears. She hung Mama Mary's to hide the dented plaster. We prayed the rosary and we all wore scapulars. He was still at work, so we said some our fathers, hoping tonight tough love would come softer. His car pulled up and he came down the hall, smelling like cigarettes and after-work alcohol. His greeting in Tagalog was much too fast, racing with my fear so I couldn't understand. And all I could do was watch his hands. All I could do was watch his hands. They shattered all of her mask that he forced her to wear. He told me she takes too long in the mirror fixing her hair. Her face is still ugly, so why should she care? I kept my response in my heart and in my head. I figured I'd let it come out when he wasn't around instead. And I punched in my own walls and internally bled, hoping childhood memories would fall eternally dead. See, when he spoke, all were supposed to listen, remain silent in the chair that I was sitting. I would never talk back with the words within, and when I did, he would blame Mama, then she would feel the hitting. Once again, I see the evidence the morning after, religious images with the backdrop of cracked plaster. Now I understand why she cussed at me when I expressed too much laughter. These were the songs that were sung daily. I couldn't save them, but I still have to save me. I've got telephone poles stuck in my heart like a stake, making phone calls to connect, trying to communicate. My memory is still stuck, locked up in the next room, but I've got to tear down my wall soon and ask him, how could you do the way you do? How could you live with the things you did? How could you take all the things you took? Look, I still give thanks for the things we had, but in my memory, I see you as my enemy and not my dad.